But we both felt some kind of angelic presence in the car that ascertained that accident didn't become what it could have been. Alright? We both confessed that. So why that guy's not born again today, I don't understand. I today attribute that incident to God. What happened, rather, the counter accident was because of God, like him preventing the full, anyway, whatever. I stopped drinking since that day. Like, I didn't have an alcohol problem. That, occasionally on weekends only. But I stopped drinking, period, because of that incident. Due to the fact that I was like, I'm so like, it made me realize, okay, so I just stopped drinking. It's not like I was an alcoholic. I just realized that it's not sustainable, coupled with the fact that there was a problem with it in my family. So that was the last time I ever touched isarana, alright? Because of that incident, and it was the grace of God. The next weekend I'm Kuzana, and ever since then I can't really say sober because I was never drunk. So now there were two people. We ended up being the designated drivers, really too. We both didn't drink in the relationship, right? Type establishment thing. But my cessation of alcohol was due to that incident. Nonetheless, when I went home, when he drove home, with me feeling like crazy ashamed of myself because I nearly killed us both. Rightfully I was happy drunk or tipsy, whatever. He was sober because I couldn't one of his boys, because he had like a million friends all across Johannesburg. We bumped into him, and at that stage I was dating him for maybe like 2.5 years. One of his boys that I didn't know yet, that I had not ever met, rocks up and it's like, hey boy, blah blah blah. They greet each other, and excitedly as he made yake, I was like, hi, how are you? I'm meeting my boyfriend's friend. Do you understand? And this dude looked at me on some, he basically was like, this one is drunk, you're gonna get to hit that. He didn't know me. He didn't know he didn't know that I was not just a one-night stand type woman. Proper, like, this guy, not that you should be a rechte, you should be the only woman. He didn't know that because it was the first time this guy ever met me. It was my boyfriend's prerogative to correct him. On some, hey boy, please don't speak like that about Imediam. This is my woman. And we were serious. We're like, yeah, so I'm not just gonna hit that. Instead, my ex-boyfriend went and said, he laughed after this dude said, clearly you're gonna get to hit that tonight. Instead of saying, don't speak like that to my woman, he laughed. It ended, the world ended that day for me. Like, bomb right there. I got angry, and even though we were still gonna be there for a few more hours, I was like, I was so hurt. So essentially, wrong, my boyfriend was supposed to correct his friend. Instead, he laughed at a coarse joke that he made against my virtue and my integrity. And me screaming and shouting at the top of my voice, that club, caused all other men around, all other guys around to be like, hade boy, wasanya. And as these guys are busy saying, hade boy, he's like, sure, thanks. So he's basically validating that he deserves an apology from them. But to have a context, and they are busy giving him compassion. And it just threw me off the top extra to a point of me driving home, even though I was drunk, out of nothing but pride and spite, because it's my car. And I nearly got us into an accident. Well, I got us into an accident, but we made it. Nobody was hurt, thank God. Except for my car had a dent, right? Mara, that incident, he knew why we fought. He knew that I was the one here that was wrong. No, not I. He inspired that kind of reaction in me where I was blowing my top. Mara, in private, he evidenced that. He evidenced that Sitarili Tufela Hussein Hadatona Hussein. Right that morning, it was the AM, Boma 2 AM, Boma 1:30 AM. Mara, this time around, really Tufela. Essentially, the whole world still thinks I'm a crazy woman that's yelling at a man in a club. But with just the two of us, he's like, I'm sorry, baby. What I did was messed up. Proper, this dude, I ended up getting bed as he was driving home. When I get home, I had a 2-bedroom apartment, right? The other bedroom was, nobody was chilling in there. Nobody was sleeping in there. I was like, please. So I gone. Ke ha ke kwatile as in ho kwata hole wa ha sale ho botlhoko ke kwatile. And this dude, at first I went into my bedroom, my apartment. Unfortunately, no di key otherwise I was gonna lock him out. I was gonna lock him out of my bedroom, and he would have had to sleep in the lounge or whatever. Okay, not lounge. There was another bedroom. He could have slept there, right? Type establishment thing. But instead, he's a man, so unale more strength than me. Oh, I was so angry. I was like, get out of my bedroom. I don't want you sleeping in the same bed as me. Type thing. And he was like, no. And he kept on like holding me on some, let's talk, I'm sorry. I was like, hey, throwing my toys out the cot. I slept on the floor, to make myself a doorstopper because I was the doorstopper. So I was scratched up in a fetal position. And I slid on the floor like a carpet. Because he opened it and he pushed me out the way that you would push like a chair that's in front of a door, and you open it and the chair just slides and you enter in anyway. He pushed me off. And I mopped the floor with my outfit. And he came in anyway. And he was still trying to negotiate. Baby, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. Come on, sleep mompetong. Like arigena mompetong. Like don't be like this. Don't be like this. Hey, throwing my toys out the cot. Because he mopped me with my clothes. Get out of that bedroom. I get out of that bedroom. And then I go into the other bedroom. And I sleep on the floor there to block him. And make myself a doorstopper. I slid again. I mopped the floor again with my clothes, at which point I realized what's in. I can ask here. Some men that's the bedrooms. So this guy is just gonna insist on corner. So I just ended up sleeping in my bedroom. Because he insisted on sticking around. Right, and when I woke up in the morning, secondly sober now, no more pooza in my body, largely. When I woke up with no more pooza in my bones, so I'm sober. And everything just dawned on me. The guilt, started to really surface like heavy. I felt like, I nearly killed my boyfriend, blah blah. Mara kitugile, like he was holding me. Coupled with the fact that, right, I get it, he drove back home the rest of the way. He stopped garaging clearly. I don't know at which point. And he bought, the garage dinner the Valentine present. Like, he bought like a little popaki and some flowers at the garage. As like a, what do they call that thing? Like truce, peace offering. Yeah, type of establishment thing. On the way home, he stopped garaging. I got a little teddy bear and some flowers. And he tried to give them to me. Like, rolling around in that drunken stupor. And I only found them saying Competo. Like, just right there. And he was like, I bought these on the way back from the garage, but you didn't see them yesterday because you were so mad. You were so angry. Essentially, Lomuglona confessed that I made you throw your toys out the cot. Some dude Aja disrespected you in front of me and I didn't say sorry. I didn't correct him. Wahlanya phambi kwabantu. Abantu ba-apologize kwimina. And that's the reason why you ended up so angry that you took your keys and decided to drive despite me being the sober one. And that, I guess, caught up with me as I was driving home, seeing as he was sober. And it made him buy flowers and insist that I could talk about he basically made a peace offering because he was guilty. But that what I'm trying to explain is that Motuona will in private vindicate you. But everybody out there in the wilderness will still think Uchi, you are a crazy woman. So long story short, you will still be in Arkham Asylum. You will still go to Sterkfontein. You will still be checked into a psychiatric hospital. And when he is visiting you as Besuka, when you are out here on meds in a stray suit, he will confess that he's the reason why Ukwenyari police in a facility. I mean, at that stage, your reputation is already damaged. Ukwenyama pilisi and indota ekwenyisama pilisi. Izo confessa ukuthi I took you to a point of ukwenyama pilisi. My ex Aja bought me the teddy bear. I insist on cuddling me and hugging me and holding me the whole night, refused to let me chill by myself and just basically stew in my anger without telling the whole world, I did this to her, please. So I'm apologizing because I'm the dog. I'm messed up. He let the world give him mercy and look down on me. But in private, sorry. What of that is oozing protection? What of that is oozing coverage of a woman's virtue? What of that is giving, I am going to protect my woman's name and esteem? A reputation is more than silver and gold, is more precious than silver and gold according to the scriptures. So if a man does not see it necessary to protect the reputation yakho amidst his friends, if his boys think you're some crazy woman, when he is aware that he's the person that actually keeps on taking you into a psychiatric hospital because you go crazy, and the whole world can validate and even stand in a court of law and confess that you deserve to be institutionalized. Besazofika zokuvakashela edanyani, besazofika zokuvakashela in the institution and say, baby, I'm sorry that I put you here, with nobody else having heard that witness testimony of his, so as to preserve the reputation of a woman. So, how about asylum as a woman, with your man being there to apologize for putting you there, with nobody else knowing that he confessed to it. You will give your life to Christ and allow Bobby to bark. As umfazi yezwa ukuthi nje uyopreserve ireputation yakho, uzozifundisa ukungarasi phambi kwabanye abantu, ngoba abantu will always take iside lamadoda. You will remember what happened to Anele Tembele aka Chigajo be throwing her toys out the cot and she's looking crazy. The whole world record mara in private to apologize ko wena Anele ugcina yenzeni ujampile ngwana bathu go hufu wibulay. You will remember isoro saka aka no Anele Tembe. Please ngicela nje singathi nayeni izinto. Like I said, sometimes you will go to death row because or in a lighter circumstance, how to border per se, mara, you will perpetually be damaged. Are you gonna bring Karabo to the bride? Are you gonna bring your wife? She's moody. You are going to appear like a party pooper, having started out quite bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Well, fresh as a woman. So, hypocrite that keeps on telling the whole planet on the left and on the right that she simmered down, down, I'm not gonna leave. But you still look crazy. If you don't want to end up with that kind of dope, you will give your life to Christ. Because bearing false witness and basically awarding a person a reputation that's not truly theirs, and not giving credit where it's due, not admitting or confessing your sins to one another, not admitting where fault was committed, is a satanic practice. It is the awarding of a false reputation to a person, and it is frowned upon in the kingdom of God. And so godly men would not do that to their wives just for the sake of looking like women are truly nagging and truly crazy. They have a thing about the maintenance of virtue in their women and their reputations being uplifted, upholded. And they understand that certain things can trigger umfazi. When you don't love a woman the way that Christ loved the church, Papa, she will lose her mind, because that is exactly the issue of Eve. That is precisely the challenge of Uefa, alright? Eve, her desires for her husband, and when her husband looks like he doesn't care, she loses her mind. And with my ex-boyfriend, I personally literally nearly lost my mind, because he was very attentive and caring all the way up until we broke up. And in the latter part of our relationship, like the last few weeks, he started to be so blasé, nonchalant and apathetic to Ukalawam. Remember I told you about that incident where after the accident, wanginaga until nilala, even though ngafuni ukuthi alale in my bed. He used to do that. He basically and that kind of kept me sane. It sobered me, even though everybody else thought I was a crazy woman. Do you understand? Manja, when he is acting like Terrence Howard in When My Days Are Cold Without You, I'm burning while I'm with you, but my heart can take no more. I just can't. I can't keep running back to you. When a man acts like Terrence Howard in that music video towards his wife in that music video, Ashanti and the mom, when he's laughing at you when you're throwing your toys out the cart, it can send you to an asylum. It can make you crazy, because your desire will be for your husband, his approval, his validation, his acceptance, his embracing, his admitting that he is wrong, him putting his tail between his legs, him saying sorry. Essentially just attention. Do you understand? Attention. When he is not paying attention to since it's your curse as Eve, you're gonna be here when you're throwing your toys out the cart. My ex never used to laugh at me when I threw my toys out the cart, but people sometimes used to think I was crazy. But towards the end, he slapped me with Terrence Howard's stunts. My days are cold without you, I'm hurting while I'm with you. I just keep running back to you. Should be like Terrence Howard. For the first time in my life, I endured a man that was blasé. He was cool, mega nonchalant, mega la-di-da. He was swinging on the hammer, mega relaxed. Ang like, gave me my company back. The company that you were the wind beneath my wings to start, that you led me in, where I had made you a silent partner. Because I wanted a woman's influence there because of these EE laws. I knew sure you were gonna be my wife. So ngabheka on that paperwork. Futhi ngithemba, but I mean ungidambile mus. So kubanje fela usign a form to relinquish your rights over my business. Yeah. That's all I'm asking for. I just ungidambile, you know. As you guys ngimdambile, akakambanga manga there. Like nekhusena mafosi. But you were wrong. I done dropped you like a potato eshisayo for being wrong. Bese uyothatha something that we had work on for Deja, and you basically started it about 3 years ago. And now in this year that we are chilling in, so yenze decision hore utlongtlogela ke londiza like a bird, like Nelly Furtado ngivele ngihambe ngize remove as a silent partner in the business that you're starting, to evidence that you and I are never going to be together ever again. He basically was saying to me, understand, why did I dump him? Why did I dump him? Hey, Shazin, situation. He started doing things that he never used to do. Like I told you, when this man started making money, his personality changed. He became arrogant, and he started to be rude, mean-spirited, and was not the guy that I fell in love with. He lost his humility, and he was generally a reliable, trustworthy guy. If he said he's gonna be here at 7, he would be here at 6:30. If he was delayed, he would call and say, I'm gonna be an hour late. We would speak all day and every day when we were not together. Make reliable all the way to the end. Messy tight. One time in the distant history, I remember the era where he wouldn't call me an entire weekend, and I suspected him of cheating, and he confessed that it did happen, and then retracted it because of the way I reacted. He had at that stage ever since then been protecting me from finding out about any of his other cheating, so he was very careful to basically preserve my heart as at that date from the first cheat that he did, or the first and second cheat. So if he cheated again, I didn't know. And this stability was maintained for a few years in the middle, since the initial time when I was basically rendered catatonic for finding out he cheated. We are now at the latter end of our relationship, is doing an end run, and he literally bounced right back. This time Ali soba involved, because after all I did tell you he quit drinking, right? He bounced right back to that strange little weird time of ukungangifoneli weekend yonke, or rocking up kojarateng yaka katre huseng ehle abuti. These are the kinds of stuff that women speak about in movies. I don't know them. So this coupled with the fact that this is my apartment, it's not yours. So buyelagini akutlela ko heno abuti tu oskato kena mo apartment yaka ka 3 a.m. huseng ele hore you were supposed to be here ka 80. And you didn't even call to tell me that you're gonna be delayed. Hawang phone to let me know that you're gonna be delayed. I, however, did try to call you, mara onoti me phone na kweka ofela, and then katri useng ke bube. Koko mo window niya kakaniti. Rilwani. And I refused to open for him, but then I feel really guilty because mina menga funu kuba responsible for, not responsible per se, but I didn't want to be messed up with the sorrow if he were to get on the highway and then get into an accident. I would never be able to forgive myself, so I opened for him and let him chill again in my apartment. And in the morning, was as to what the heck, dude, like you said you were gonna be here at 8 and you couldn't even call me, let me know you're gonna be delayed. He slapped me with relax, like what the heck, dude, like since when were you like that? He hit me with an attitude of, I told you I'm busy, I'm starting a thing. I was caught up, I couldn't be here on time. But then I came back to you, didn't I? Mind you, that was at the cusp or at the helm, all that rudeness. I ended up dumping in Wahamba, Wayekai. That was the last time that we were together, right? Usually when I would break up with my ex, he would grovel, he would beg, he would try to come back. That time around he was like, Suga Futi, I think rent manje sengenzimali. And Khalo unzongeka ungibora. Ambition. So alright, before that event, I remember I told you that this guy was very careful to conceal cheating if at all any happened. One time he came to my apartment, it was not my sihun out dinner, right? It was sober times. He came maybe get like 8:30 or 9 or whatever after a meeting with some friend of his, type of establishment thing. And I was a fornicator, we are to be getting busy. And you know that scene, baby boy Yataraji P. Henson, where it is that she suspects Tyrese of cheating, and then she goes and sniffs his nether regions to see if he's been with some woman or some prostitute. She be out just sniffing in that area and then confirms that no, he didn't cheat. Well, something similar happened. But instead of unlike with Taraji, who are absolved of any guilt, abdicated of any wrongdoing, Tyrese, because I don't say anything. Tina Messi busy doing what people who are busy in the world do. And I smelled a woman. I still, yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry, Abutinonke Maswabi. I mean, the audacity, you didn't even take a shower, for real. Oh, they say, no diver in like Trey Songz, Motswilling thing, Motswang thing. And now you wanna come, Uzongena Lakum, Putwam. Oh, like proper 2 women in one day, Imediako plus some tramp, Laistratin, that's like it good. I was like, he was like, no, I didn't cheat. I was like, dude, did you go and just put like seafood down there in Jefela just because you like the smell of it? Come on. Like, I know what's going on. Shaggy, I get it. He started to protect my heart. He started to protect me from finding out Anish. And for years, I guess he used to take showers after cheating on me. This time around, Uzwilem was one thing where he dove in like Trey Songz and literally drove straight to my apartment afterwards. No shower. Like, guys, guys, I am so sorry. Like, he literally walked up at my apartment, another woman down there. It smelled so poignant. He was obviously with some other woman. It was clear. And nothing. He could have gone to a mall and grabbed paper towels in the male bathroom. That guy smelled like sex. I was like, I couldn't. I was like, I'm sorry. I stopped everything dead in his tracks. I was like, I'm not proof. I can't accuse you of cheating on me. Marana, since you and I are to be doing things without protection, I'm not about to let myself finish this thing in Ikalayo now. Look at that. HIV, we're not clap. Trichomoniasis, chlamydia, izapha. Ngoza uzonginikeza ihug ngikhumbulile bandla we oh why abanye abantwana bathanda kangaka mina ungena ndawo nami. Ngicela ungene nami kimi. Ngidla ngigubhana kinge HIV. I was like, give my swag. I cannot about riled up. No, I'm not finishing this thing. And from that day, it was about 4 to 5 months before we broke up. Herein lies people dating for 5 years. The whole time there's no protection, literally from the first time. As guys at 70 said stuff, we started using condoms. 5 months before a 5-year relationship ended, was protected. The whole time, 4.5 years, nothing, yeah. For the whole relationship, I trusted, I went out on a limb, I believed that he wouldn't do it again, kept on checking for HIV time and time again, negative. And the last 5 months, an incident where we got down without protection. I mean, how you gonna stay with a man that you start out not using protection with, and now you're using it and you're still with him? You're still with him. That's the crazy of Abafazi in these streets. We were using protection, so that was the challenge towards the end of our relationship. We were now on condoms, and that was something that was just sitting on my heart. Like, how do we date all this time without them, and now how is this gonna end up in marriage? Like, I don't understand. Not terrible anymore. There's no trust. Like, anyway, whatever. So this was at the helm of stuff like that, like the cusp of stuff like that. This incident where he rocked up at like 3-4 a.m. in the morning. It happened around the same time when we were even using condoms. Do you understand? So already there was no trust concerning what he could be cheating, what he could be doing, dalliances. So now I was thinking at the top of my brain, you could have been sleeping with some females. Then you come to my apartment, and when I question you, I let you in because it's how accidenting driving home. You chose to come to my apartment and not go back ahead. So because I'm funny your border. After all, I still love you. But please. Only guy, why don't you come and why don't you make the seats? And then he starts to treat me like, oh goodness, like whoa, wahasa. On some and this time around he was like, so apartment maybe because it was the nearest one from the brothel you were at. Such that Hussein so resting, you realize so I can drive. Busy whatever. He basically treated me like anyway, Karabo. I've snoozed. And frankly, I'm fresh enough to drive. So hi, bye-bye. Antics for the first time ever. So we've been using condoms. Trust. He be out just smelling like a female in his nether regions every so often. And then I tell him, angisafuni phuma kimi futhi afuna ukuphuma neqiniso as to where you are at. Mabani busiwe. And instead of trying to negotiate and talk about it, they're like, I feel like sekifeditse because ntho enna kwe kaofela o no ntso e batla hore ke be yona. Ke da sekifihlile. I'm starting to make something of myself. And since you're only here, you are still here. You're still since no rasa. Karabo. Since you're only bossy. And I'm my own boss now, girl. Sing nemali. Eyangena. Eyavuza la emapokotini wami iyaqhitheka eyicathulweni. Angisana ndaba nawe. Ovele waphuma osamu uyangidampa. Sha. Angishafaka wangidampa vala. Fine, girl. Fine. Atsamaya ke ha ke banga monyako behind him. And the next couple of weeks, he would embark on missions so as to evidence that ongdampile go fedile ge. So I guess tshwantsere kwale ntwena. All the other times I never dampana, ungdampa sorry. I kept on holding on to the relationship, to us. My stuff stayed at your house, my toothbrush, whatever, the tranka. Even my epithelial cells, like my DNA be out on your pillow. Like I didn't vacuum it out. Now I'm gonna rock up with like what do you call this thing? To collect cultures that belong to me in your apartment. Kitlo fit like the pipette, lady test tubes. I'm gonna rock up with like tweezers for my hairs, my epithelial cells. I'm gonna grab all the pillows and I'm gonna put them in plastic bags and mark them my DNA do not touch. I'm basically going to bleach every evidence of myself from your apartment. Cause, sharp, this time I take it. Oh, dumpy. Here. Alarm. Wait. Here. Namun tuwa impress yung tampo kwam. Aksafunok negotiate. I don't even know how I felt about that. Like, di mo dampi. Lekhala kibatao zamo na makakisyo. And then he started to embark on missions to get even his DNA out of my apartment. Shit. He treated me like I cheated. And even though I was wandering around like a periscope looking left to right, not once did I ever go out on him. I never cheated. I kissed a guy once, but during a breakup. And that dude, even though I was strongly considering leaving basically permanently being out of the relationship with my ex, I ended up getting back together with my ex because it just didn't feel familiar. That kiss, it was like, but it's not him. It's not him. Like when you have been with one person for so long and you're just used to them, their touch, their everything. The way after using the bathroom. I told this guy, I broke a man's heart that was a genuinely very decent guy because he was not him. So this was just very daunting for me, given that I could have left for somebody that would have treated me a lot better, but I didn't because it wasn't you. And here it is that I am leaving and you are letting me. Are you cool? I basically acted so crazy for him accepting. Guys. Ke mo dampile mara ka hlanya ka taba go amogetse gore ke mo dampile. I went mad because he accepted the resignation where before he always rejected it. And in that season, that's when he laughed at me the way that Terrence Howard was laughing at Ashante in When My Days Are Cold Without You, I'm hurting now, I'm with you. One Klega, as he walked away from me, this dude, I throw all my toys out the cot, I didn't even want to see him. I don't want to see you, okay? Send me that document and I will sign it and then I will fax it back to you. And he was like, no, I need an original copy. You have to originally say. I was like, it doesn't matter. Say, I will make it a color printer. Yeah. Or you can even forge my signature there. I don't care. He was like, no, I need your signature. When we said, I need you physically. He was spiteful. He could have totally received my signed copy with an affidavit in the office. That's Stampusa Commissioner of Oaths. It would have been enough. Do you understand? Stampusa Commissioner of Oaths would have been enough. I knew that because I just knew it. This guy when he is giving me forms to sign to essentially relinquish any influence I would have over his business to evidence that this is the end of our relationship. He wanted to see my pain. Una batla ho bona hore ke agile monna ka mo panel beat ka mo kokota nails in his temple. Aba ha qeta ha se tsa qala ho gola ntho e ke investileng e setse e bera di fruit. Aba tswa bona. He wanted to see that pain in my face. I had never seen that kind of evil in that man. I had never seen ntho lento mvukele angaze mina ngibone before. And ebuswe yini occult involvement first and foremost, and secondly ke chelete. Men in the world have a chelete bahlanya, they lose character and they take out isquinch on abafazi by being mean. And also alright, what is the other thing that I wanted to talk about? The sun is rising now. It's actually kind of low-key risen and it's getting warm. Also, it's like he was punishing me for being so strong that I kept my foot down. On Damari, dude, get your act together. Like, Papa, if we're gonna be a power couple, if we're going to be what we are meant to be together, as a person, he was already in his 30s, like a bit of a late bloomer. And I already was just a flourishing star in my 20s. And my strength and girth above him made him determinedly, do you understand, rebuff me. When he started to make money, he literally determinedly rebuffed me as a means of punishing me for pushing him so hard. Essentially, when you make yourself a man's mama, you will pay handsomely for it. He will look at you as this domineering thing that took away his authority as opposed to the supportive ride or die. And so therefore, punish you. Once he ultimately makes the success and wealth that you were gunning for all along. You were building him so he could be what he finally became. But he will literally rub it in your face. He will rub it in your face and make it look as if though he will act as if though you were this nagging thing. When you were rather this pushy thing that was trying to make him get to being the best of who he could be. But he will make you look like you were bullying him. That's just what happens when a woman overwhelms a man. That's what happens when a woman overwhelms a man with her power. So he did that to me. And because I was busy rejecting him, in my apartment, I wouldn't allow him in gating. I told the security guys, please tell him to go away. So security guys were like, sorry boy, we can't let you come in. I responsibility for the tenants, for the residents in this property. So I'm yo dog, this guy came to my job. At this point, he'd already resigned from his 9 to 5 to pursue his business ideas. And so therefore, only available maharanga bake and naked komsebeti. Muto, I get a phone call downstairs go MTN. Hi Karabo, how are you? It's Cassandra here at reception. There is a guy here by the name of Chepu. Let's say his name was Tepo. There's a guy by the name of Chepo over here. He says he's got something for you to sign. Please come downstairs to come see Chepo. I couldn't believe that Cassandra was after telling me that Tepo was downstairs. Like, I was like, he came to my office? Oh my goodness, like he came to my work. I couldn't tell Cassandra, I don't want to see Chepu. Tell him to go. I wasn't about to throw a scene at officine, dog. Yo, I went downstairs. And it was when I went downstairs that I saw Terrence Howard. I had been with that man for 5 years, and it was my first time seeing. He had done a wardrobe haul, like as if new shoes, new pants, new jacket, new coat, new shirt, new belt, new cufflink. His shirts were crisp, they were higher. You could tell. I was the reason why this guy, there was Archie walking around at 10 randa, and I bought him a wallet. Yeah, polo. On some, a man must carry a wallet, relax. Una fella spray ego. I bought him his first male scent cologne, a Bulgari scent that I was just besotted with for his birthday, and he maintained it so he could smell like Indota. I got that man essentially to be Indota that I wanted him to be. And now he smells of a signature scent of a powerful man, and ironically, he maintained the very scent that I bought that man a watch because I was like, a man must always have a timepiece. Yeah, I'm Marnie. Do you understand? You know Beyonce, I'm great. I know I upgraded that dude. He was walking around with a timepiece, a wallet, and not just carrying around the 20 ratas. That man was actually not merely rocking ego or whatever it is, the spray deodorant and a brute. He actually had a scent of a male cologne Like I told you, like a Bulgari. Like it's just this beautiful perfume that I would like a scent. Yes. I loved it. Oh, I was just besotted with it. And when he came to see me, he was rocking the watch that I bought him. He smelled like that Bulgari perfume. And he was not the same wallet that I bought him all those years ago. That one was worn out, so he had bought himself wallets. But he was now a man that knew to carry not so much a man purse, because that's kind of girly, but a wallet, because you've got wads of cash that you can't be out just stashing mo pokothong abuti. Di tlo tinelwa ke pula, di lo dulwa ko taxing ke AC blom di nya tšhelete mo waleteng. Nthonyana tse jwalo tse nna ka shapo ke di investileng mo di out. He was rocking all that and then some, because now he had like a whole wardrobe haul. I kid you not, Motole probably walked into Polo, into Pringle, and shopped from tip to toe just to come and see me. He was clearly done a haul, and you could tell that this is just the beginning. Yeah, go dropong go jarateng mo dulang teng. Go tletse new sweaters, that cashmere from Polo Pringle. Like, yo, name a male brand that's kind of upmarket. This dude is out here rocking golfing attire. Good clear. And I just looked at him and I was like, you've graduated from my university. Now you could not care less to acknowledge I had everything to do with all that. My mom, when we were together, bought like a whole chunk of Tommy Hilfiger shirts that she did not like. My mom is big. She tailored them, made them smaller, and gave them to him. So he had like a whole haul. It's a Tommy Hilfiger. When I listen to this thing, it's like I deleted so much on Facebook, but some stuff I didn't delete because it's like memories. Okay, but some party at like that joint I go for ways and go back to Jaivang thing. He limited the name of it. Okay, I don't know if it's still even there. But one of my girls was having a birthday there, and I went with my ex, and he was rocking one of my mom's shirts. Tommy Hilfiger, but she had made them male fit because my mom can't do sewing. It's just that my grandmother was a seamstress. My mom, and he's out here in those humble days. So I tailor make, I shrink a size. I get the size of my boyfriend, and I just look at photos. I looked at pics like those in this era, and I was like, my mama out here upgraded you. Downsize. Your woman bought you an Armani watch, perfume, wallet. Basically trained you how to be a much better man than whatever's going on right now. That situation uling ko yon ano. You are just a decent. You filled out. I told you that in the beginning of the relationship you was scrawny. This is like getting a fitzy out there and whatnot. Like I was clearly very, very, very beneficial to this guy. And now Lumudlona is literally looking and smelling like the kind of man that women want to be with. He is now finally rising. Do you understand? So basically all these slay queens Vazozili, Ponza, all these chickens are now gonna throw themselves at him. Alright? He is now so arrogant, however so handsome. He is filling out. You know, a man in his early 30s. He's filled out. Tall. Interesting. Like he's covering his body the way that a man ought cover his body. He smells good. He's driving. He's doing so well in business that he refurbished into and he was out building property. This guy, construction, that's what he got into. He's starting to basically kill it, murder it, and butcher it. What driver? I taught him how to drive. I called the licensing department twice. He let the first one expire. Not JMPD, licensing department. Go on hold. Company phone just to get that guy a date, another date. You let your learner's license expire, dude. Come on. Twice. JMPD, not JMPD, but he's licensing department. He gets his driver, his learners. And then at the second time, I was like, wait a king. You are gonna get your drivers. Do not come at me with nonsense. We are not getting a third learners. Brother, so we battle it. In all fairness, driver's test. I'm sorry, I was a sinner. I'm all redeemed now, South Africa. Don't come back. Me go corrupt. Look at you, Pala Pala Fam. Look at you, Inkandla. Look at you having no minds anymore. Look at you expropriating without compensation. So don't come at me for buying my driver's license, please. Anyway, whatever. Direkile driver's license yaka nekisaphuluswane, mara I'm a good driver, except for the one accident. Boyfriend yam, ngamtshela ukuthi boy yazini ngikamthola umuntu. Uyathenga i-license. Kuphothole umuntu lothola unoreka license because I want to nzorola mo koloying. How to buy a license and at this point you push at 30. So no, you are not going to let this bonus expire. Now he not only has a driver's license, mara, oh look at you buy a van for your business. Mochukimo hopping up and down in these streets of Johannesburg looking like he's making it, mara. He became rude to me. One time he told me I was old. He would rock up at my apartment, and then refuse to account for why that was happening, and then break up with him. We were now using protection where before it wasn't happening. The scent of a woman. Motako ki nonsense, so he's becoming Bobby right in my face, and I am actually exhausted. Ka Bobby, ya modamba expecting of Bobby's gonna do a better thing. Bobby, then one ra separate Bobby, dogo. We separate, okay? We break up essentially, officially, and then he does this silly thing. Bobby, what they need, like the way the break up, towards the end. One time he tried to reconcile, and then he did stuff that like Papa was not characteristic of him. He stood me up. If I had gone to the mall to sit at the restaurant where we were supposed to meet, little crackers, waiting for my man to come and account for himself and the fact that look, let's talk, because I mean we've been together for a minute, we can't break up. One stand up, guys. He stood me up, and then after standing me up, Jogo, Umawa Kona was the one to call me and basically stand in the gap for him because nothing nang ata. And she saw Bobby was dropping the ball hard, and she called him on my behalf. First time ever nakifonlokim mewatengi munatenya asa accounted for his own actions. At which point I was with my friend at the time. My friend was like, because I was already interested in the things of God. She was like, you've been praying for a sign as to whether or not Ubobi is the one, honey. Kimo Ubobi waka dogo. He is evidencing in the worst way, he's manifesting agasbai. It's like I a relationship alone. I took my girl's counsel, but we got back together because I just kept taking him back. But then he kept acting in this flaccid way until eventually was over, and now he was laughing at me in the lobby officing as I'm busy signing a document on some it was easy. It was all that simple anyway, bye. That was the last time I ever saw him as my boyfriend. Well, my ex, I mean, it was like, yeah, for about a year. Not a year, maybe 6 months, because I got born again. And I decided that I wanted closure, so I contacted him and we had lunch and we had a cordial relationship therefore afterwards. And then things went awry again, because, things were just like, relationship my ex, it was because that then he became the tyrant that he now today is. So what I'm trying to explain is that when you are butch and beefy as a woman, when you're kind of masculine, when you are just growing beards and everything as a chicken, comprehend that a guy's gonna take it out on you even though you are innocent, even though you were the wind beneath his wings, even though you helped him grow as a man, even though you were ride or die, even though you were willing to be with him ali here, really empty. All that he's gesturing you with is dipelo. Hey, I was the one with the apartment. I was like, Papa, we were fornicators in the beginning. We were always in hotels. Then I'm the one that had my own apartment. At some point, we were living together, but it didn't work out. And I ended up getting my own apartment. So if at all the dude was actually sleeping over with his girlfriend, my place. I was basically the one with the apartment, the one with the car, the one with everything. And I was the wind beneath the wings of a dude that would ultimately throw it in my face. That I'm making money. And look at me be all dull, like and I cannot tell. You were there for me when I had zero. Down the line. Islay Queeness missing a phone when he had nothing. All up in my grill. Long story short, men have an intrinsic need to provide. In spite of indaba yokuthi umfazi ayena loyalties to him. Uzo fila appreciated, loved, respected, and wanted. And manly when some woman is needy like a leech. I'm one guy can take 5 in grade 4. Yakwava. A leech woman that had nothing to do with the man's development, will literally rock up as or enjoy reclining her chair on a loafer, on a stool, esikushiga in the man you built. Well, this bugger is acting like, yo, we couldn't be together anymore. She was always all up in my grill. He will literally make you seem like you were the worst thing that ever happened to him. When after Opumagu yellow Bobby, Ashem, Johannesburg, Yadi Chiringana Tadi Stay Queens Egaufel, I said okay, to be with him because of what work you did. The project you embarked on, every chick in Johannesburg will be falling on their toes to be with the man that once upon a time they wouldn't even look at twice throughout the time of which you were with him. But the disquieting thing about men like those, I will probably they end up singing, baby, when I used to love you, nothing that I wouldn't do. Went through the fire for you, anything you asked me to. But I'm getting tired of living this life, getting harder to justify. Realize that I just don't love you, not like I used to these slay queen women, because they end up missing the ride or die that was there. Mara, in the beginning, Bazo keep you squinch over this ride or die. Over in the beguti won't push it too much. You were too much of a man in the relationship to forget all band, no band. You were wearing all drunk, Karabo. Oh no, I better be going to drive a ganda. And then I didn't feel man enough. You essentially emasculated me by simply being a really bush woman. So that's why give it as soon as I started making money. A very pushy, ambitious woman. To be with a flaccid, fluffy one, or do thing fella anza kwenya chelete monang karekidi pilis. It is exhausting for men to be with women that lack character, that would never have looked at them when they had nothing. And so that rode out the blazing sun, the sultry heat, and then he will want to come. He will then want to rock up and irritate you with a boring slay queen. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kids, status of stepmom to slay queen's kids. And now that he wants to divorce slay queen for the original queen. But you see, the sad thing about the situation here with slay queen is that lama totalawa ngoba bayatwala sometimes in order to make imali zabo. O taba atshwere Karabo poho keng ka ditlhare. Yo, ngwana o taba qenana le 40. Asna bana, asna njasna katse, asanyalo. The original ambition, literally unable to move left or right because the evidence of the fact that a man that had a ride or die woman just cannot let her go will be in indawo ukuthi uzombosh utomutwaris omubeya kodanya. And that's what my ex did with me. He was like, I'm gonna go and marry the slay queen that didn't want me when I had nothing. Marawena, you're not gonna get to be that ride or die to some other bugger. Please no, you are not going to go and love another man the way that you loved me. I refuse. So mara understand and how to ratwa. Nobody is going to give you a better experience than what I experienced you through. So they will hold you hostage with witchcraft because that's just what it is that men's judgment is. They will want to lord it over you with an iron fist. So what is the moral of that crazy story? The moral is this: as a woman, know your place, your function, your equal in essence, however different in function. Let a man be a man. However, be a silent influence went beneath his wings without being too pushy. If, however, you start to go and wear all band in the relationship, all band, all underband, all drunk, all dead, you were actually hurting him because he will feel like you took over his authority, and then he will laugh at you when you are breaking up. That dude drove me to Jesus because my pain was so extreme. I cried out to the Lord because I could not believe the way he was treating me. And the Lord recovered me until I was the one that called a meeting for closure. I became the bigger person. But if it wasn't for Christ, Arkham Asylum, sisters, I was going to stay with Danyani. I was going to be angry. I was going to be mad. And then I was going to be especially nasty mad. When he married the side piece, he was out here cheating with him. On me. The woman that refused to be ride or die with him or to him when he had nothing. Yes,